Hello everyone, let's continue with the example of iterative approach to find the time complexity. So let's start. Fun for I equal to 1, I less than equal to n, I plus plus, and then we have a print statement as d. So, what will be the time complexity of this particular problem? Look, this particular problem used a loop, that means this one is a iterative approach. So, this particular statement is to execute this particular statement, it will take only a constant time. Now, for the loop, how long this loop will execute, that means how many iterations are there for this execution, for this loop. So to find the number of iteration of any loop, we can use whatever information given in that particular loop itself. Using those information, we can find the number of iteration that the loop will execute. Clear? So here the value of I start from 1 and the iteration will continue till n, and each time the value of I is incremented by 1 only. That means how many, for which value this iteration, for which value of I this iteration will execute. This iteration will execute for the value of 1, 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, like that till n. So total how many iterations are there? Total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that n iterations are there. Clear? So total iteration is n, and each iteration and each of these iteration will take how long time? Only a constant time. So each iteration takes c time, and we have total iteration n. So total time will be c into n. So from this we can find the time complexity, that will be t of n equal to order of n. Clear? That is how we can find the time complexity, by finding the number of iteration and within each iteration how long it will take to execute. Clear? Now let's say we have next, we change a little bit here. Now we increment the value of I by adding 2 instead of adding 1. Then what happened? Then what happened? Look at here. Now again the loop start from 1, that means 1. Next value of the loop will be I equal to I plus 2. That means next value what we will get? We will get 3. And then next what we will get? We will get 5. Next what we will get? We will get 5 plus 2, that means 7. Then what we will get? We will get 7 plus 2, that means 9. Like that we will get, how long it will continue? It will continue till the value n reach. Clear? So how many iterations are there? How many iterations are there? Look here, total number of iterations are n by 2. Total iteration is n by 2 instead of n. Now how many iterations we have? We have only n by 2 iteration. Why? Because look at here, the value of I is only the odd numbers, not all the even numbers are not there. All the even numbers are not there. So how many odd numbers are there within a particular number? we have half of odd number and half is even number, so that's why we get this n by 2 is the total number of iteration. Now the total number of iteration we can observe by using a simple example also. Let's take n equal to 20. N equal to 20. So what happened? The value of I will be 1 and then 3, then 5, then 7, then 9, then 11, 13, 15, 17, 19. Now look at here, how many times this iteration execute? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is 20 by 2. That's what we get, 10. And this 20 is our n. That's why we get the value n by 2 as our total number of iteration. So, and each iteration takes how many times? Each iteration takes only c times. So total time will be n by 2 into c. Now here this n is our input, number of input, this c and 2 both are constant, so we will get something like n into c by 2. So here only this is our number of input term, so time complexity will become order of n again. Clear? Hope you understood the concept. Now let's increment the value of I by 3 and see what happened. So now again the value of I start from the value of I start from 1 and then next value will be I plus 3. That means what is the value of I now? 1. Then next value will become 4. After that it will become 7, 10, 13, like that. How long it will continue? It will continue till n. Now how many elements are there? How to know how many elements are there? How many elements? The number of elements here are the number of iteration for this particular loop. So how to know the number of elements that are present here? Because we don't know the value of n, and based on the value of n this iteration will change, this number of sequence will change. So how to know? Let's say again I is 20 and see what happened, and we will see what happened. So in first iteration the value of I will be 1, then 4, then 7, 10, 13, then 16, 19, and after that we will get 21, that will be greater than 20, so that will not execute. So how many iterations are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How to know? This is 7 iteration. 1, 4, this one is 1 plus 3, 4, 4 plus 3, 7, 10, 13, 16, 19, correct. And how many iterations are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So how to know how many iterations are there? What is the relation with this 20? This is, now look at here. If we divide 20 by 3, how many elements you will get? We will get 6.66 like that. Clear? Now from here we can get this is 6.66, but here the number of element is 7. So how to know this is 7? How to know this is 7? And here we are getting only 6. So how to get the number 7 here? This is the cell of this particular operation. That means this is the number for which this iteration will execute. That means we will get the iteration like n by 3 cell. Instead of cell, we can simply represent it as n by 3 only. So here the total number of iteration will become n by 3. That means, and each of this iteration will take c time, so total time will be n by 3 c, and again we get n c by 3, and total time, the time complexity will be order of n. Clear? That is how we can find the time complexity for a particular problem. Hope you understood. Now what happened? Let's erase this thing. Now what happened if we increase it to 4? That means then how many numbers will be there? The sequence of numbers will be 1, 5, 9, 13, 17, like that till n. And total number of element here will be n by 4. And total time will be n by 4c, and that is n into c by 4, and then again we will get time complexity order of n. Clear? Hope you understood. Now what happened if we enclosed this particular loop inside some other loop? Let's do it. Now what happened? Now look at here, for the outermost loop, that is I. For I loop, the value of I start from 1, incremented by 1, that means the sequence of value for I1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, like that n. And then in inner loop, the value of j start from 1. The value of j start from 1. Clear? And then each time it is incremented by 1. Each time it is incremented by I only. That means here the increment of the value of j is not fixed. It is based on the value of I. That means the value of outermost loop variable. So what happened? In first scenario, the value of j, look at here, the value of j start from I and continue till n. That means here the value will continue till n. Here also it will start from 1, continue till n. Here also it start from 1, continue till n. Here also it start from 1, continue till n. And like that, here also it start from 1 and continue till n. Now the interesting fact. Now how to reach to this n from 1? Here is the difference. How we are going to change the value of j that is different. And that is depends on the value of I. Clear? Now come to here. In this case, the sequence will be 1, 2, 3, like that till n. But in this case, the sequence will be 1, and then each time incremented by j equal to j plus 2. Here in this, let's do it in below. Here the value of j is changed like that, j equal to j plus 1, because the value of I is 1. Here the value of j will change as j equal to j plus 2. Here it will become like j equal to j plus 3. Here it will become j equal to j plus 4. Here it will become j equal to j plus n. Now come here. What will be the sequence of j value? 1, 2, like that n. So total how many iterations will be there? Total n iteration. Total iteration is n. Now come here. the value of j will change like 1 and then 3, then 5, like that n. So total how many elements will be there, how many iterations will be there? N by 2 iteration will be there. Now in this case, the value of j start from 1, then next value will be plus 3, then what we will get? We will get 4, then we will get 7, like that it will continue. So how many iterations will be there? The total iteration will be n by 3 iteration. Next, here 1 and then the next value will be 5, then next value will be 9, next, like that. So how many elements will be there? There will be n by 4 iteration. Now next here, like that it will continue. Now here the first element is 1 and next element will be n plus 1, that is out of bound, because the loop will execute for till n only. So there it will not execute the iteration. So how many iterations will be there? Only one iteration, and that is what we will get, n by n iteration. Clear? So when the value of I is 1, at that time we have total n iteration. When the value of I is 2, at that time we have n by 2 iteration. When the value of I is 3, at that time we have n by 3 iteration. When the value of I is 4, at that time we have n by 4 iteration. When the value of I is n, at that time we have n by n iteration. That means total number of iterations that we will have, total iteration, therefore total iteration will be n plus n by 2 plus n by 3 plus n by 4 plus, like that, n by n iteration. These are the total iteration. Now from here we can factor out the value of n we factor out, then what we get? We left with 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 4 plus, like that, plus 1 by n. Now if you observe, this is the equation for which element? Log n element. This is the definition of log n. That means what we will get? N into log n. This is our total iteration. Now each of these iteration will take only constant time because of this particular statement. So what will be the total time? Therefore total time will be n log n into c. Therefore time complexity will be order of n log n. So hope you understood the concept, how we can find the time complexity of this particular problem, how we find the time complexity of this particular problem. Clear? So that's it for this class. Next, continue in our next class with some more example. Thank you.